For those of you that know me, my name's Jen Holtman. I'm the founding coach of Team Spark, and we're here tonight for our joint call. We have a couple of announcements. The first one, I want to give a huge shout out to Charisse, who earned a huge accomplishment today. She is a Success Club legend, which is no easy task. She worked her butt off to get there. And what that means is she has successfully achieved Success Club for 24 months in a row. So way to go, Charisse. Excellent job. And that is what we should all be striving for each and every month, to hit Success Club. So way to go. She'll be getting a seat on the floor at National next year.
Yeah, thank you.
So a couple more announcements. We have our size group starting on the 10th. If you have anybody for that group, or if you want to be in that group, you need to put your name in the document on the Team Perseverance page. If you are not in the Coaches of Team Perseverance page, just contact myself or Charisse and we can help you out with that. But they're just trying to get a head count and know who to add to the group. We will be having our regular challenge group on the 17th. So that can be any program at all. It can be people, if they want to do size and they miss the size group, they can hop into the next group. It can be any program. So keep inviting for that one, because we still have another week before, the deadline is going to be. So that's good. Charisse and I both posted to our teams that we have email trainings available for all of you, for all different levels of coaching. They're quick, they're short, they're not meant to replace Coach Basics or Ramp. They're just little daily reminders that will help you to grow your business. So if you have not already signed up for them, please just provide Charisse or myself your email address so we can add you to the appropriate training. And remember, if you're signing up new coaches who want to work the business, you also want to give Charisse or myself their email, because there's a great 8-day quick start that will really help them get started right. And then the other thing is, remember, Charisse and I are both available for 15-minute power calls. Take advantage of that time. It's a great opportunity to troubleshoot and problem solve and find out how you can earn Success Club every month. So if you're not earning Success Club every month, you should absolutely be scheduling a power call with one of us, depending on which team you're on. And then Charisse has a couple of announcements as well.
Yeah, so I wanted to remind everyone to get on the wait list for Summit, because now it's not the cheapest price possible, but it is a cheaper price than what it will ultimately be. And you will get off the wait list if you get on now. So when you get off the wait list, your ticket will be a reflection of the price now and not the price later. So it saves you money to get on it now. Also, if you didn't see, and I'm not sure if Jen had a chance to post this in her group today, but in Team Fit and Natural and in Team Perseverance, there's going to be a weekly newsletter that you can sign up for. So this is just a really easy way to get a quick email with things that you need to know. So, if you sometimes miss announcements in the Facebook groups, I know there's a lot of notifications and stuff. This will be one centralized place where you can check things out. So sign up for that. And then for anybody, I don't know if anyone on this call is in my area. I think I saw Renee before, but I'm not sure. But for any of the coaches that are in my area, in the New England, Boston area, I am having a local gathering at my house on September 10th at 7 o'clock p.m. We're going to have some wine and cocktails and snacks, just a fun little thing. So definitely mark your calendar. And then the last thing is just to go over the challenge packs that are on sale right now. Obviously this month is all about size. So the size challenge pack is on sale for $140. It's normally $160. Also the size and Shakeology Kickstart challenge pack, which also includes 3-day refresh, is on sale this month for $180. It's regularly $205. And then the 3-day refresh challenge pack alone is on sale for $140. And as you guys know, having the $140 challenge packs is just key, because it's $10 more than what people would be paying for a month's supply of Shakeology. So they might as well, get these goodies for $10 more. And Laura Schiller on Team Fit and Natural is going to be running a 3-day refresh group. 3-day refresh is her specialty. She is the queen of bringing in people for refresh, and she does an awesome job with the group. So she's going to run that, we say August 17th. Yes? Okay, August 17th. So, you know, from either team, if you have someone and you want to put them in there, remember, you don't have to be doing refresh yourself at the same time. You can merely be in there to support and motivate them, like and comment on their posts, etc. Laura will be doing the heavy lifting for us, so thank you, Laura. And just keep that date in mind. And then also, we still have the 21-day fix challenge packs on sale for a few more days. So don't miss out on this last window. I know it was confusing because they were the challenge pack specials in June, and then they were the challenge pack specials in July, which was a surprise. And then there was a mix-up with the dates of when the challenge pack sale would stop. So officially, the 21-day fix challenge pack in both English and Spanish is on sale until August 12th. For $140. So again, until August 12th for $140. The 21-day fix extreme challenge pack in both English and Spanish is on sale until August 10th. It's a little bit weird. I'm not sure why there's a difference in dates, but this is what's going on. So make sure you write it down. It's August 10th, not the 12th like regular fix, and that's $140. The 21-day fix kickstart, which includes 3-day refresh, ends August 12th, and that's $180. The 21-day fix extreme kickstart challenge pack ends August 10th for $180, and that's it. So does anyone have any questions about that? You can type in the chat since you're all muted. If you have any questions, sorry, that's confusing. But basically, we have a few more days to take advantage of this, and if you're on a cup team, it should be a big push for you to right out the end of this fix sale, because after all of this fix time, you know they're not going to be on sale again for quite a while. So take advantage of it now. And so that is the rest of my announcements. Let's see, Jen, where'd you go? There you are. Do you want to start with your topic? Oh, sorry.
I just went there making a lot of noise upstairs, so I wanted to unmute. I wanted to mute myself too. So I'm going to talk a little bit about sharing and not selling. There's a couple key things that Teresa and I really wanted to really go over with you guys, because this is a big push at Summit, and it made a lot of sense to both of us, and we really want to share this information with you so that you guys can also make some changes to how you're posting. So number one, when you're sharing rather than selling, you really want to stay away from those stock photos. So just throwing up a picture of the 3-day refresh, not as efficient as possibly using one of the pictures that you took of the food you made when you were doing the 3-day refresh, or you holding the box, the 3-day refresh box, and say, hey, you know, last time I did this, I lost 4 pounds, or, you know, something like that. Having it have a connection to you and your life and your experiences is going to go a lot further than just having a random stock photo. You can use, I've seen some people put like their picture in like a collage with stock photos. That's awesome. And you guys are doing a great job by using, I have written down a couple of the names. Photify is one app that's really good. Pick, Play, Post is one that you can do photos and video. PicMonkey is one you can use on the computer, which you can make Facebook cover pictures and just designs and all sorts of cool stuff. And then Sharice just told me about a new one called Perfect Image, which is nice because they don't put some of the other ones have a watermark of the company, and it's not an option to remove it unless you pay to have it removed. But this one has no watermark, which is kind of cool. So be creative, you know. Sure, you've got that stock photo of the 3-day refresh now. And guess what, guys? If you haven't done the refresh, there's about 1 trillion people on Google that have. So not to say I've done this, but do a Google search for 3-day refresh meals, and you will find real pictures of people's foods that they have done. So if you haven't personally done it, there is a wealth of resources for you to share genuine pictures rather than those stock Beachbody pictures. That's the first thing. As you're going along, we don't want it to be just Success, success, success. You know, sometimes we all struggle. And actually, Kim, not to call you out, but you're on there. And Kim was posting today about her struggles with staying away from sugar after coming off a vacation. That's real. That is showing that she's a human being. And you know what? That's going to help somebody make a connection to her. And that's going to make someone say, hey, you know what? That girl's like me. And I want to work with her. I want her to help me. So be vulnerable. You want to share your successes? Absolutely. Rock on. We want to say how great we're doing and how wonderful it is. But when we're having those challenging moments, we definitely want to post about those also, because it just shows that you're a real person. And it helps people to identify with you. Sometimes they can't identify with us, the after picture. For those of us who are at the end of our journey and maintenance now, it's easier for them to, you know, identify with us when we are saying, hey, you know what, I just ate a bag of chocolate and I don't care. So we all have days like that. It's okay. So be vulnerable, share your story. Include info about your family and your friends and their part in your fitness journey. So, you know, you made a recipe and your kids ate it. Share that. You made a recipe and your kids are like, oh God, please don't make us eat those vegetables. Share it. You know what? People will laugh. People will be like, oh my God, my kids are the same way. And then that can open the door. So, okay, here's how I made these secret zucchini muffins that now they are eating vegetables. Well, we just don't mention the zucchinis in there. You know, things like that. Never, ever, ever post your website. I cringe when I see a post that's like, here's my website. That is the most salesy thing you can do. And I cannot tell you enough not to do it, because that really isn't attractive. That isn't making me say, hey, I want to go see what's on there. I want to hear about you. I want to hear about what you've done, how you've done it, why you're successful, and why these programs work, not just see a link. The link is for after you go through the invitation process through private messaging, and then you give it to them when they're at the point when they're ready to buy. So please, please, please don't post your website. And if you are a coach who has coaches, that's a really important message to share with your coaches, because they're new and they're not going to know. And they're going to say, oh, I got to get my website out there. It's natural. It's a natural thing to say, hey, that's a good way to get me out there. So as their coach, you have to advise them that that's not the best way to go about that. You want to use a lot of questions in your posting. So, you know, going back to the kids and the vegetable thing, you know, here's a great vegetable dish that my husband and I loved. Kids won't eat it. How do you get your kids to eat vegetables? There you go. You're now going to get a string of people commenting, and then you reply to those comments. Open up those doorways. Great suggestion. Do you have a recipe? You know, things like that. And just ask questions back and forth. Pretend you're like at a barbecue chatting with these people. So just don't let the comments be there. You want to interact with those comments. You're really forming relationships this way, and people are going to be more likely to look for your posts than in the future, because they're like, I wonder what she's doing today. I wonder if she got those kids to eat the broccoli. You know, they're interested in you then. And keep in mind, guys, your posts don't have, you know, they shouldn't be a call to action, join my challenge group every single day. Your post can be a recipe. Your post can be just, you know, a fitness fact that you found, or an article that you're sharing about health and fitness. Check out the Shakeology blog and the Beachbody blog. There are fabulous articles related to health and fitness that are not salesy at all. They're just informative, and they're actually really, really good. And there's tons of recipes on there as well. So I encourage you to check those out as well. And by sharing and not selling, what that is going to do is tell people and share why you are unique and why they want you to be their coach. Because there's like 300,000 of us out there, which is kind of a lot. And you want to, you know, have a reason why someone wants to work with you. What makes you so special? And stock pictures isn't going to make you special. You sharing your journey, your struggles, your family, your vulnerability is what people are going to identify with. Sorry, I have my notes. The other thing, post raw video instead of YouTube links. Raw video gets a very high affinity rating on Facebook. So like today on my like page, I was really close to 1,000 likes. So I made a challenge that for every like I got, I would do a push-up. So I just had my 10-year-old video me, thank God it was only 7, doing the 7 push-ups. And, you know, it's a cute video. And I know you could see all the views. It's going to be like 200, 300 views by the time it's done. They may not comment on it, but they're going to watch it because they want to know what the heck I'm going to say, which is different than me just putting up some YouTube link, which is some random person. You want to put live video up. It could be a quick, here's how I made this dish. It could be a quick motivation chat. It can be, you know, you just finished size and you didn't trip over your own 2 feet and you're not a dancer and you're really proud of yourself. You can just put a post up about that. But live video is awesome. So definitely at least once a week, you should be putting up some sort of live video, raw video rather. Another good thing to do are teaser posts. So, hey, I just made these muffins. They are delicious. Who wants a recipe? And then wait for people to comment. And then when you get a couple, and don't do it after the first comment, wait for a couple of comments. When you get a couple of comments, then you post the recipe as a comment. So that's a way to get people looking and interested. And the last thing is, on the Team Perseverance call, not this past Monday, the Monday before, Dave introduced the 21 days of posting. I don't know if you guys have found that. Sharice and I have both put them on our team page. For Team Spark, it's on the accountability page under the files section. Sharice, where's yours?
Sorry, I had to unmute. It's in the files tab.
In the files tab, okay. So guys, I just uploaded these onto my like page. They're really good posts. Now, some of you do have mutual friends that you share, so I'm going to tell you what I did because there are a bunch of us that all live in this area that share friends, and I didn't want us all having the same posts. So what I did was I just Googled. So the first one was, it was something like eggs and vegetables for breakfast. So I just Googled egg, vegetable, healthy breakfast. Well, I got about 75 pictures to choose from. So now my picture is going to be different than, say, like Shanna Carlucci, who lives down the block. You know what I mean? So if we post it on the same day, it's not going to look like the same post because we have different pictures. So I went through and I used all the wording from the post, and then I just added I added pictures. And then when it was time to share, some of them were Transformation Tuesdays before and afters. I'm going to be featuring coaches and challengers who have given me permission to do that. So that way it'll be unique to my page because it'll be, you know, just the people I've experienced. So use those posts. Even if you don't want to use all 21 days, use some of them, but I encourage you to use all 21 days. Guys, it's there for you. I mean, it's super, super easy. Just copy and paste. It doesn't get easier than that. So that's what I wanted to talk to you tonight about sharing instead of selling. Before Sharice goes on about Shakeology, does anyone have any questions about that? Okay, so then I'll turn the floor over to Sharice, and I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Shakeology, and that might be a surprising topic because we all drink Shakeology, right? We all know about it. But for those of us that were at Summit, we saw this really amazing presentation. It was one of the workshops that we all attended, and it was really good. And Darren O'Lean, who is one of the co-creators of Shakeology, gave some great information that was really helpful. So why do we even care about Shakeology besides, you know, the obvious reasons? Well, Shakeology is basically tied to everything when it comes to the Beachbody business. For you as a coach, it's tied to you hitting Success Club. And Success Club is that benchmark that you want to go for. Like Jen said, you know, it's crazy. It's been 24 months in a row that I've hit it, but it was just one small goal. Like I just had to get 5 points. It's helping 3 people a month. You know, you do that every month and then you wind up in a totally different place. You know, you wind up in a place as a Beachbody coach where your own dreams are becoming a reality just by helping others a little bit each month. Shakeology is tied to that, so you need to be informed about Shakeology. Rank advancement is tied to it. Your commission is tied to it. Various rewards, you know, like the Mexico trip that we went on this year. Your volume, which is the key to making money in this business, is tied to Shakeology because it creates residual income because it's a reoccurring order for many people. So it's work that you don't even have to really keep doing each month if you do a few simple steps that will greatly benefit you. And then, of course, for your own body and for your customers' bodies, it is incredible for good health, good fitness, and getting results. And that's why we require it for the first challenge group, especially because we know that people are going to get better results, and it's going to help them stick with it when they see those results. Because what it comes down to is we can't control everyone's nutrition. You know, like people could exercise their butts off and follow the workout schedule, but if they're eating crap every day, they're not going to get the results they need. So at least you know that one meal a day is covered with the best possible nutrition. That is the only thing that we really have control over helping. So that is why Shakeology is important. Now, as far as why it was created, this was something that was really new to me. I never thought about why did Darren O'Lean bother to create this? Well, the reason he did it was because back in 1936, there was a research study that was done on fruits and vegetables that grow, you know, in our world, basic things like an apple or a carrot. And they discovered that those fruits and vegetables no longer have the same a level of vitamins and the same level of nutrition that they had before due to the toxins and the increasing toxins in our environment every year. So because of that, our fruits and vegetables are becoming deficient in the things that they once had. And that's kind of a scary thing to think about, you know, if you're thinking about toxins and things like that and how our environment is changing. So if you had an apple 100 years ago, you would get a lot more out of it than you get out of an apple now. So they looked at that, and they looked at how the fruits and veggies were devoid of the nutrients they once had. And they wanted to create a product that would fill that void and be the missing link in what we were no longer getting from our food. So what they did was they took some of basically the greatest nutrient-rich foods in the world. You know, not that so much of it is not sourced in the United States. It's things that are found all over the world, some of the most nutrient-dense food. And they created this shake, you know, and they used those different superfoods from around the world, over 70 of them, in the way that they've traditionally been used. So they used these, what they're called as micronutrients, that have been missing from our food, or at least it's been tracked since 1936. And so that is why they decided to do this. And he had a great quote in that workshop. He said, "It gives you the energy to respond to life rather than be a victim of it." So I'll say that again in case you want to write it down. And there's a bunch of things that I would say take notes, especially on this stuff, because it's not really stuff that's written everywhere. So again, it gives you the energy to respond to life rather than to be a victim of it. So what is in Shakeology? Well, we got a little, I guess, it's not really an acronym, but kind of an acronym. Write this down. It's 3PVMAD. And this is so you can remember exactly what's in it. 3PVMAD. And what that stands for is the 3P is for the three major P's that are in it: prebiotics, probiotics, and protein. So again, the three P's are prebiotics, probiotics, and proteins. The V is for vitamins. The M is for minerals. The A is for adaptogens and antioxidants. And the D is for digestive enzymes. So what are those things? Like, why should we even care about those things? Well, first, the proteins and the fiber are in Shakeology because they help reduce our level of hunger, and they help reduce our food cravings. So, you know, the protein shows up in a couple of different ways depending on whether you go with the regular formula or vegan, but it's protein packed, but also the fiber, which is, you know, we now have the digestive health boost. Like, that's a great reason, even if you are a regular person digestively in the bathroom world, you know what I mean? Fiber also helps you reduce hunger and cravings. So it's a good reason to try the digestive boost that's new too. As far as the antioxidants, the vitamins and the minerals, and also something called phytonutrients, PHYTO nutrients, that is to support a healthy immune system, and we can all use more of that. The adaptogens are adaptogen herbs, and they are traditionally used to help the body adapt and respond to the effects of stress. So again, like, you know, when you get people's why and they're telling you, I'm so stressed and, you know, I need to do something for myself. I need to focus on my own health. I'm so busy taking care of my kids. I'm so busy commuting. I'm so busy with my 9-to-5 job, whatever it is. When you hear the word stress, think of Shakeology, think of the adaptogens that are in it, and that it is a natural way for your body to adapt and respond to the effects of stress. And then for the prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes, these are things that have become very popular over the last several years. You know, I think so many of us have given them even like to our babies and things like that for various tummy ailments. And this helps with nutrient absorption, and it supports regularity and healthy digestion. So again, prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes helps nutrient absorption and supports regularity and healthy digestion. So before I move on from that, does anyone need me to clarify anything about ingredients? No? Okay. If you think of anything, you can type it in the chat and I will look for that. So overall, what does Shakeology do? It reduces junk food cravings. It can help us make better food choices. It can help with impulsive snacking. For me, I have usually a second Shakeology during the day, like if I'm making an early dinner for my kids and I know I'm just gonna pick and like eat their grilled cheese crusts or something like that, I just make a second Shakeology with water and ice, and I have that so I could just eat dinner in peace with my husband later. So it's a great way to avoid snacking. It provides healthy energy, can help you with getting your workouts in for people who have a problem with motivation. So that's another way to link Shakeology into the conversation. Helps, you know, when you're getting up in the morning and you're tired. And it helps you also avoid caffeine. And if you're in my Team Fit and Natural group, you know that I've been like shouting from the rooftops about the Focused Energy Boost. I've had it in my Shakeology every day this week because I've gotten very little sleep. And it is amazing. Like, you really do not feel the need for coffee. So if you need even more of a boost, or if someone is talking about being exhausted or so tired or so dependent on caffeine and coffee, this is something to bring up, you know, as far as Shakeology. And also the Focused Energy Boost is another possibility there. It helps support your immune system. So again, it helps your body adapt to stress. And a strong immune system means you get sick less. It means your family gets sick less. It's the whole trickle-down factor. You know what happens when mom gets sick, especially? The whole family goes down. It's a terrible thing. So we don't want that to happen. Shakeology helps with that. Supporting your digestion and regularity, and then promoting healthy weight loss. Because although this is not a weight loss shake, it's a health and wellness shake. But if these other things are happening in your life, then of course losing weight is probably going to be a byproduct of it. Now, if you think, it's funny because of course, you know, Shakeology is linked to having regularity in the bathroom department. And one of the coaches that was talking about this at Summit gave this great anecdote about toilet paper. So like when people ask you, well, you know, there's so many protein shakes out there, or, you know, I use this much cheaper protein shake. I even got it at Whole Foods, so it must be good. Why should I pay all this for Shakeology? Well, she gave the example of if you buy like the really cheap toilet paper that's super thin, and then you buy the premium toilet paper, and you think about when you're in the bathroom, how much you have to use. So for the thin, crappy, cheap toilet paper, you got to use a lot to accomplish you know, the cleanup factor of what's going to go on there. But if you have the premium stuff, you only need a little bit. Well, it's kind of like the same thing with the crappy protein shake or just the standard protein shake. I shouldn't even say crappy, although I guess because I'm talking about bathrooms so much, I'm going to talk about crappy. But so the thin stuff, you need a lot of. the superfoods, because this is a health and wellness shake and it's full of superfoods and not just protein, a little bit is going to go a long way. So keep the toilet paper anecdote in mind. Thank you, Jen, for making me do the poop talk. I see your message there. Excellent. So yes, that was the poop factor. Now, what else do I want to say here? So something that we really encourage, because there is so much information about Shakeology. Like when most coaches are asked how comfortable they feel talking about Shakeology, there are not many people who feel like an expert on this topic, which is kind of amazing considering it's probably the one thing that we all sell the most of consistently. You know, we all sell different programs, but Shakeology is the one thing that everybody has their customers drinking at least at some point. So we need to be more informed. So when you're doing your professional development, reading, which is one of the 3 vital behaviors of being a coach, something you should be doing every day, just take like 2 to 5 minutes to go look up an article about Shakeology, like Jen mentioned, the Team Beachbody blog or Shakeology.com. There is a ton of information on there. Just like learn a new recipe, learn about the ingredients. And one great thing to do as far as sharing and not selling, when Jen was talking about that before, is to highlight one ingredient every few days that's in Shakeology. So take something like moringa, take something like yacon root, you know, who knows if I'm even saying it correctly. These are not things that are household words, but they are superfoods. So take one of those things and educate your friends and family online, you know, educate them. There are so, if you just Google that ingredient, you're probably going to come up with a Shakeology already made little square for you that describes exactly what is in the, you know, what the ingredient is good for, you know, what you should know about it, the result that people have from using that ingredient, and say, like, did you actually know if you're drinking Shakeology, you're getting this every day? So that's one way to share and not sell. But also, sorry, Jen, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to share something. I started doing Shakeology Sunday, so I use the hashtag Shakeology Sunday. And if you go on the Shakeology blog, there's actually an ingredients tab. And if you go there, they have links about, like we just said, moringa and I'm going to destroy the way you say all these things. Ackee berry, you know, like all these amazing things that I can't say that are really, really good for me. And I get every day in my Shakeology. You don't even have to like search hard. Just go on the Shakeology blog. There's like 15 or 20 articles. I have them loaded in through October on my like page for Shakeology Sunday. There were that many of them. I actually had to stop. I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I'll do this more. I'll do more later. So definitely look at the Shakeology blog because they have great little informational short. So people aren't going to be like, oh God, I'm not going to read this whole medical thing. It's a short blurb about the ingredient that people will find really helpful.
So I just saw a message. Someone was asking about Shakeology and breastfeeding in the chat. So just to address that, you know, it's a personal choice, obviously, for everyone, but Shakeology is completely all natural ingredients. And if you want to just, you know, take the bag and bring it to your doctor and say, how do these ingredients look for you? You know, I don't really know of people who are told, no, you shouldn't have all of these vitamins and minerals. And actually, we've had people in pregnancy who are, you know, a lot of times in pregnancy, you get nauseous taking the prenatal vitamins that their doctors or midwives have suggested, you know, that they just do the Shakeology instead because it more than covers what's in the prenatal vitamin. But also, you know, whenever somebody has anything, any kind of health issue or anything like breastfeeding or a sensitive stomach or anything going on with their body that is like slightly out of, I don't want, it's ridiculous to say, I breastfed my kids for 2 years each, so I'm not trying to say that breastfeeding is out of the norm, but anything besides being like just a regular standard person, if someone else is depending on their body, whatever, you can suggest that they just start with a half serving and let them use a half serving until they feel comfortable with it and, you know, make sure that there's nothing that's remotely going to bother them or their baby. So, and also if you ever get pushback, like people saying that they're having some kind of issue with it, say, okay, take a step back, try a half serving. Your body is, our bodies are not used to this dense dose of daily nutrition. You know, none of us have been eating superfoods in this capacity on a daily basis, no matter how healthy they are. So if there's any kind of effect, scale it back to a half serving and take it slowly from there and then build up. So I just wanted to address that. Let's see, so we covered, you want to read about that, about Shakeology for a few minutes a day. Now also looking at what to share, since we started talking about that with, you know, highlighting one specific ingredient, you want to share your own Shakeology story. You know, tell just like a little anecdote about what it's done for you. A lot of people talk about how their hair is growing so much more quickly, or that their nails are so much stronger. You know, that just these little tiny things. What is something that Shakeology has done for you? And just turn it into a light anecdote. Don't try and lay everything on them like, Shakeology has done a million things for me and it has all of this in it. Just tell the story of the one little thing it's done for you. Use those top blog articles. And then also there's a new Tony Horton video that's awesome that highlights Shakeology. That's in the Coach Online office that you definitely want to share. So that's what you want to share. Now, as far as follow-up goes, well, actually, let me take a step back to how to start talking about Shakeology. So one thing that you want to do is we have this document and we will post this, but it's called health assessment questions. And basically they help you learn. It's kind of like getting the why, you know, in step 2 of the invitation process. It helps you learn about the person, and of course it will help you link Shakeology back to any things that better in that department. So some of these questions that you want to ask as you're getting to know your prospect are, what are you trying to accomplish? Do they want to lose weight? Do they want to tone up? Do they want to improve their overall health? And then after they tell you, don't stop there. Say, why do you want to accomplish this? So dig deeper into their why. Do they have an emotional reason? You want to get to the emotional reason for why they want to accomplish this. How long have you wanted to make this change? You know, so that way, if someone tells you, like, I have been meaning to get to, you know, losing that baby weight for 4 years now. Well, when later they come back and they're hemming and hawing about the price of things, you can say, you know what, but you told me how this has affected your self-esteem for 4 years. So think about, you know, what this is an investment in your health and how you feel as a person on a daily basis. And of course, always remind people about the 30-day money-back guarantee, bottom of the bag guarantee. So you can say you can drink the whole bag, and if you didn't like it, you can just get your money back. There's no risk to trying this. You can ask them, what have you tried in the past? So, and what did they like and dislike about it? Because again, this will help you know how to guide them as a coach. Why did it fail for you if something didn't work in the past? Tell me about your support system. Because of course, that's the biggest thing that we offer with the challenge groups, right? You know, like, I've tried to diet, but haven't had a lot of support in my household, things like that. That's an important thing that you want to link to the support of the challenge group and the ease of Shakeology and how that will be an easy way to support their good nutrition choices. Have you felt like you've hit a plateau with your weight loss? What is your diet like now? You know, if people are saying like, oh, I drink like 5 cups of coffee a day, you know what to talk about there. You know, how much water do you drink in a day? If you find out that this person barely drinks any water, then you're going to be asking them through the challenge group, like, how are you doing with your water intake? You know what to focus on. And of course, Shakeology is another way to hydrate, right? Another way to easily get, you know, 10 ounces of water into your body that actually tastes good. So after you've gotten them on board, you want to make sure that you're following up with your Shakeology customers or anybody who is also drinking Shakeology on a one-on-one basis. So after you have a new challenger start, you want to message them a week in, one-on-one. Even if you're doing the engagement questions in your group, you want to reach out and ask them, how do you like Shakeology? How is it making you feel a week in? Because sometimes, you know, when you post that Shakeology engagement question in the group, and 98% of the people are like, I love Shakeology, it's incredible. That one person who might be having some kind of strange reaction or hasn't found the recipe that they love or doesn't know what to mix it, they're going to be scared to speak up in the group and say, you know, this is actually what's going on for me. So you have to reach out to them one-on-one too, and make sure that they're having a good experience and try and help them in that way. Ask them if they need recipes. If they don't like the flavor, tell them, or even if they're just interested in trying more, tell them about the super sampler so they can try each of the flavors. Ask them how they're making their Shakeology. You know, someone might be saying that they're getting stomach pains from Shakeology, and then you find out that they're mixing it with 12 ounces of whole milk, which would do just a number on their digestive system. So you don't be afraid to really like delve and find out exactly what they're doing with their Shakeology every day. And ask them engagement questions like, do you find that you're drinking less coffee? Do you find that you're having fewer cravings? Do you have more energy? Ask those things, and so they realize, so they start linking what Shakeology is doing for them. Ask them what meal they're replacing with Shakeology. Let's see, what were some of my other ones? And then, of course, remember to do Shakeology engagement questions within your group each week and to share recipes. And don't just share the recipes that they can drink, but share all the treats that they can make. You know, when you can make Shakeology pancakes, Shakeology ice cream, energy balls, Shakeology cookies, Shakeology peanut butter fudge pops. Because then, you know, people are sharing these things with their entire family. You know, health becomes a focus for the whole family. Parents are psyched that they're slipping superfoods into their kids' dessert each night. And so, of course, you know, the more it has like a far-reaching effect in their immediate world, the more loyal they're going to be to the product. And of course, the more loyal they are, the more benefit there is for you, and the better their results are going to be, which is, of course, why we're focusing on them to begin with. So, Jen, do you think, was there anything that I missed there? Anything else you want me to cover?
No, I think that was good. I think that covered everything from the workshop that we went to. I just thought it just made me think about different things about Shakeology, different kinds of questions, and we definitely wanted to share that with all of you because it really, even just why it's important and about the nutrient deficiency, you know, in our soil and things like that, that I really wasn't aware of. So I learned a lot from that presentation, so we wanted to share it with you guys. Does anyone have questions?
There are 5 specific Shakeology articles that they recommended,
okay.
Good ones to share. So just write down these titles, and if you Google them, they'll come right up. But the first one is 5 Shakeology myths debunked. 5 Shakeology myths debunked. And that's a coach talking about, you know, the general myths that she's heard and basically going through step by step why they are myths and not truth. The second one is why Shakeology beats the competition. Why Shakeology beats the competition. The third one is Shakeology, the best ingredients on planet Earth. Shakeology, the best ingredients on planet Earth. Number 4 is what's in Shakeology and why do I need it? What's in Shakeology, why do I need it? And that's specifically an article with Darren O'Lean, one of the co-creators. And the last one is a good one for people who have a price objection with Shakeology. It's how to afford Shakeology as a single mom. So, you know, again, when you look at the price of Shakeology, it's actually replacing one of your meals for around $4 a day. And so many people forget the little choices they could make that could cut $4 a day out of their budget, you know, to have this amazing health benefit. So that article really delves into that. So that's it. Does anyone have any questions? I know this is kind of a long call. All right. Well, question. Hold on.
Actually, it's not really more of a question. I'm the one who asked about the breastfeeding. I only threw it out there because I'm asked that a lot. I am a neonatal nurse practitioner, so for a job, I work with babies and breastfeeding all the time. I have a lot of nurses who are interested and some patients who chat with me about it. I'm friends with some of the mothers of my preemies as well. I'm getting a lot of questions. I also was a breastfeeder. I just threw it out there to see what answers you had, or maybe other people had asked that question of you before. I wanted to know what you told people in the past. And I just wanted to let you know I'm going to bring a bag of Shakeology in to one of my lactation consultants and have her take a look at it and just sort of get her as like almost a professional opinion, in my opinion, what she thinks about the ingredients, and make sure that there's nothing in there that rings a bell for her as saying that's a no-no, or I've had problems with that, additive or that ingredient. So if I get feedback from her, I'll definitely put it up on our coaching page so everybody else can have that information as well. Again, she's not a physician, but she's been doing this for a really long time and comes with a lot of really great experience. So I'll share anything that I learn on that end. So
that's great. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And as far as something else, so when I do have someone starting Shakeology that is breastfeeding, one thing that we talk about, well, two things that we talk about really are including healthy fats and how to introduce more healthy fats into the shake. So, adding in avocado along with it, adding in a tablespoon of coconut oil, things like that, adding in Greek yogurt into the shake. There's so many different ways to get the healthy fat in there as well, because that's obviously so important for milk production. So that's one conversation that I have. And the other one is just the liquid intake in general, so to keep up with their supply, they're going to be, and if they're starting to exercise especially, they're going to just need so much more fluid. And obviously we encourage our challengers to drink half their body weight in water in ounces, right? But that should be an absolute minimum for them. And so Shakeology is another way to help them get that in there. But one thing that I do suggest is coconut water for women that really are working on, adding hydration, because coconut water is like, nature's Gatorade basically, and so without the artificial color and flavor. So that's another great thing to add in. So just really consulting with them about the ways that they're making it, I think, is really important too.
Great, thank you.
Sure. Anything else? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And if you come up with any questions later, just post them in our team groups. So hope you all have a good night.